Gabriel was eager to go visit his grandparents. Little did he imagine that something terrible was about to happen, and that would change his life from that day forward. Little did he know he wouldn't even make it to his grandparents' house. As the night fell and the bus lights dimmed, the atmosphere began to shift. Their hands accidentally touched, sending subtle shivers down their spines. Gabriel glanced at the clock for the 10th time since he got into the Uber on his way to the bus station to catch a long-distance bus. He was headed to a small town in the countryside to visit his grandparents. After a stressful year of work, he decided to take a vacation, hoping to find some peace and familiar warmth. Anxiety consumed him, and to make matters worse, his Uber got stuck in traffic. When he finally arrived at the bus station, Gabriel was already very late, and upon learning that his bus was already departing, he rushed desperately onto the boarding platform and then onto the bus just before the door closed. The bus was crowded, and the only available seat was next to a young woman with brown hair and a book in her hands. She was focused on her reading, and Gabriel, out of breath, hesitated for a moment before asking if the seat was taken. "No, it's free," she replied, smiling and looking up. Gabriel thanked her, sat down, and tried not to show that he was almost out of breath. She returned her attention to the book, but Gabriel's eyes couldn't help but linger on her. There was something captivating about her presence, an aura of tranquility that he couldn't ignore. It was already late at night, and Gabriel, tired, soon fell asleep, unaware that he would have a terrible surprise upon waking up. The journey would last almost 7 hours, so he slept without worry. Gabriel woke up about 2 hours later and saw that the young woman had fallen asleep holding the book, which was now resting on her chest. Gabriel could then admire her calmly, as before he couldn't look at her for too long. She had a peaceful expression and seemed to be having a beautiful dream, as her lips formed a smile. It was at this moment that the bus hit a pothole on the road, causing the beautiful young woman to wake up. Gabriel, feeling awkward, pretended to be looking out the window while the woman composed herself. He was still, not letting on that just a few seconds ago he had been admiring her beauty as she slept. And precisely because he was so focused on looking out of the bus, Gabriel noticed that the city they were passing through was not on the route to his grandparents' town. It was then that upon asking, he received the terrible news that the bus was heading to another city, which was exactly in the opposite direction from his grandparents, and at least 12 hours away. He was terrified and didn't know what to do, considering they were already too far away to turn back. Seeing him in that state, the girl beside him started a conversation to try to calm him down. She said her name was Barbara, she was 25 years old, and she was taking a few weeks off to visit some neighboring cities and relax. She was very friendly and outgoing, which helped Gabriel calm down more quickly. As the bus advanced along the road, Gabriel and the young Barbara began to talk, now more calmly. They discovered they had a lot in common, from musical tastes to favorite movies. Gabriel felt an instant connection with her, something he had never experienced before. As the hours passed, the conversation flowed naturally, as if they had known each other for years. At dawn, the bus made a stop at a diner so they could have some coffee. They then sat at a table with a beautiful view of the mountains. When they stopped for lunch in a small town, Gabriel invited Barbara to join him at a local restaurant, as he had been to that town with his friends before. They shared laughs, childhood stories, and of course, a delicious meal. The chemistry between them was palpable, and they both felt a special connection that went beyond the coincidence of meeting on a bus he mistakenly boarded. In the afternoon, when the bus would resume the journey, another unexpected event occurred. A mechanical problem would delay the trip for a few more hours. It was already late afternoon when the problem was resolved, and back on the bus, they decided to watch a movie together on Gabriel's tablet. He chose a romantic comedy, eliciting smiles and laughter between them. However, as the night fell and the bus lights dimmed, the atmosphere began to change. The soft glow of the tablet illuminated their faces, creating a subtle intimacy between them. Gabriel felt his heart race as their gazes met. Barbara also seemed to sense the change in the air. A growing tension between them, an electricity that filled the small space they shared. There were no words to describe what was happening, but they both knew that something special was forming. As the bus cut through the darkness of the night, Gabriel and Barbara continued to talk, but now with a different tone. Their hands accidentally touched, sending subtle shivers down their spines. Each shared laugh seemed to carry a deeper meaning, a silent understanding between them. As the journey progressed, the physical distance decreased. Knees touched, fingers intertwined, and the barrier between them seemed to disappear. Gabriel and Barbara drew closer, exploring the vulnerability of sharing personal stories and deeper dreams. The night turned into a journey of mutual discovery, a delicate dance between two souls recognizing each other. The bus made a stop in a quaint little town, and Gabriel suggested they go out for a coffee. As they walked through the streets illuminated by yellow lights, the conversation became more intimate. They shared secrets, fears, and hopes, creating a connection that transcended the fleeting encounter on a bus. While savoring their coffees in a cozy local cafe, Gabriel and Barbara lost track of time. The shared laughter and warmth created a bubble around them, isolating them from the outside world. However, reality soon caught up with them as the bus was about to depart again. The decision to board the bus back brought a mix of emotions. The farewell was imminent, but Gabriel and Barbara weren't ready to let this brief yet significant chapter of their lives end there. With a shared glance, they decided to extend the journey and disembark in the next town, where they could spend more time together. Days turned into nights, and nights turned into early mornings. Gabriel and Barbara explored the city, creating memories that would become precious to both of them. They strolled through parks, visited museums, and got lost in narrow, charming streets. The city became the backdrop of their unlikely love story, a narrative unfolding with every shared laugh and gentle touch. They learned to navigate their differences and appreciate each other's quirks. Each obstacle strengthened their bond, turning the brief encounter into something more enduring and meaningful. The days of travel turned into weeks, and the end of the journey approached. Gabriel and Barbara were aware that they would soon have to part ways, as Gabriel had to return home to his commitments, but the connection between them was undeniable. On a starry night, as they walked hand in hand under a dotted sky, they confronted the reality of having to say goodbye. On their last day together, they decided to cherish every moment. They visited special places, shared one last sunset, and got lost in conversations trying to postpone the inevitable. The bus terminal came into view, and anxiety filled the air. The farewell was painful, but both knew that their accidental encounter had changed their lives forever. Gabriel boarded the bus that would take him back to his everyday life, carrying with him the precious memories of the days he spent with Barbara. As the bus pulled away, Gabriel looked out the window, watching Barbara grow smaller on the horizon. But even at a distance, the bond between them remained strong. They exchanged promises to meet again, knowing that the universe, somehow, would conspire in their favor. Gabriel and Barbara's story is a testament to how love can flourish in the most unexpected places. A bus journey that began as a mere coincidence turned into a romantic journey, where two hearts met and discovered the magic that only true love can provide. As the bus disappeared into the horizon, Gabriel knew that this was not a farewell, but rather a see you soon, as destiny had paved a special path for them to reunite in the future. If you like the story, I'm sure that one of the videos that is here on the screen will move you too. But before you click, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any of our next videos. A big hug and see you in the next story.